Hey everybody, it's Benny One, and I'm back at you with some movie reviews, everybody. And I'm starting off my Middle-earth Saga movie reviews, everybody. That's right. These won my poll on Instagram. It was the Marvel Universe versus the Middle-earth Saga, everybody, and it won. So I'm reviewing the Lord of the Rings movies, and then I'm going to go back and review the Hobbit movies that took place before this, because that's how they were made. So today we're starting off with 2001's Lord of the Rings and the Fellowship of the Ring, the one that started off this entire franchise, everybody. So, this movie is based off of the Lord of the Rings novels that freaking J.R. Tolkien wrote, everybody, and they are amazing books. If you haven't read them, I most definitely recommend reading them, because these movies do a pretty damn good job of adapting the novels for a live-action movie. So, this baby was directed, well, they're all directed by Peter Jackson, actually. All 6 movies are directed by Peter Jackson. And he does such a phenomenal job taking the source material of the Fellowship of the Ring and putting it on a live-action screen, you guys. Like, the world building and just everything that we get introduced in this movie, like, this first movie does such a phenomenal job of introducing us to the Fellowship of the Ring, which is our group of characters that we go on this ride in these 3 movies. Like, he does such a great job of introducing us to this whole Middle-earth world. We start off with the big epic backstory of the One Ring and everything with Sauron. And then we go to the Shire, and we start off small in this little folk village with these little tiny hobbit people in the Shire who like to drink, eat about 7 times a day, because they have first breakfast, second breakfast, 11sies, lunch. Like, they eat like 7 or 8 times a day, and they drink a lot, and they smoke weed a lot. That's right, everybody. What kind of life? Oh man, I'd love to be a hobbit, I gotta tell you right now. And they like to farm and have a family. That's what you're talking about right there. That's your dream life right there, is what the hobbits live. And then it slowly starts to build and just get more and bigger. And the stakes start getting bigger. And we start getting introduced to the elves, the world of men a little bit. And then Gandalf shows up in Bag End, and we have a wizard, which is... Gandalf is a badass, everybody, that's right. Gandalf the White is my favorite version of Gandalf, but Gandalf the Grey is a badass, everybody. So the world building and just the whole setup of this movie is awesome. Like, awesome. And these movies just get more epic and more epic as they go. Like, by the time we get to the 3rd one, the epicness is like blowing the roof off. So, this movie is loaded, this franchise, this trilogy right here. Loaded with phenomenal cast. Like, phenomenal cast. Amazing. I cannot believe the cast of people that is in this movie, you guys. We have Ian McKellen playing Gandalf. Elijah Wood plays freaking Frodo Baggins. And you know what about Frodo? For one thing, if Sam wasn't with him in this journey, the dude never would have made it. I don't care what anybody says. Frodo gets stabbed twice in this movie. Just this movie alone. The damn guy gets stabbed twice. The second time, luckily, he had the Mithril vest thing on to protect him, so he actually didn't get hurt that time. So, but yeah, Elijah Wood plays Frodo. Sean Astin plays Sam Wise Gamgee. He literally is probably one of the biggest heroes of this trilogy. Like, that they... You know, he's not like solely the main hobbit, but he is very important to the story. We have Viggo Mortensen plays Aragorn, everybody, and this is my favorite role of his in any of his movies. We have Orlando Bloom playing Legolas, everybody. Badass elf, you guys. Badass elf. And then who else we got here? We got John Rhys Davis plays Gimli. Love him as Gimli. Does a fantastic job as Gimli. You got Sean Bean playing Boromir, everybody. That's right. Boromir. Kind of a dick. He unfortunately dies at the end of the movie. We have Dominic Monaghan plays Merry. He's another one of the hobbits. And then we have Billy Boyd plays Pippin. They're like two little best friend buddies who come along with Frodo and freaking Sam. They come along the ride with him. They kind of run into him and they end up getting wrapped up in it and just decide to go with them. They're funny characters. I enjoy what they have on the screen in the other two movies a lot, what goes on with them. So let's see here. We got Liv Tyler plays Arwen, Aragorn's love, who is an elf. She is also the daughter of Hugo Weaving's character, freaking Elrond, everybody. That is correct. Christopher Lee plays Saruman. Everybody, he's like the lead wizard in the wizarding community in Middle Earth. He's like their head wizard that they all look up to. So, and he goes bad in this movie, everybody. He decides to side with Sauron, everybody. And then we have Ian Holm, who plays Bilbo Baggins, everybody. And that's one thing I love too, is we get a little tease when we first go to the Shire. It's Bilbo kind of telling his story of what happened in the Hobbit movies, and we get to see the map and him start writing the book and everything. So it's just really cool to kind of get to watch these and then go back and watch the Hobbit, especially the way they started the Hobbit movies. So just the movie's great. The movie's great. All three of these movies are fantastic. I love the attention to detail that Peter Jackson put in these movies, because I just noticed rewatching this one, I'm a little bit into the second one. They're long movies because I'm watching the extended versions of all of them. Like this one was like 3 hours and 40 minutes, and then I think the next one is 10 minutes longer, and the third one is even longer. It's over 4 hours. So I love just how they make the hobbits and like Gimli look tiny when they're next to like Boromir and Aragorn and Gandalf and Legolas, because they're small. Like Gimli is a dwarf, so he's smaller, but like Frodo and Sam and Pippin and Merry, they're even smaller than Gimli, because hobbits are tiny folk. They're tiny humans. They're just tiny people. So, and I love how they do that with the camera work. They do such a good job where it looks natural. It looks like it actually was totally filmed normal and everything. And that's another thing too, is like this movie came out in 2001, so this movie, this whole franchise, is a prime perfect example of you using practical filming effects and special effects with the CGI special effects added into it. Beautiful. These are some of the most beautiful looking movies that I think I have ever seen in my life. And on 4K, holy shit. These movies are beautiful on 4K, people. Beautiful on 4K. The CG in this movie does not look dated at all. Like, at all. At all. I'm telling, these movies are great. I'm going to have a hard time ranking this franchise. Like, I really am. The Hobbit movies, not so much, but these three, I'm going to have a really hard time ranking them, that's for sure, once I'm done watching them. So, but yeah, guys, this first movie, like I said, does such a great job of introducing us to this Fellowship of the Ring, our main group of characters that we get set out on this adventure with, and just awesome. The world building and introducing us to this whole Middle Earth like realm that is so massive in size. Like, this first movie just barely cracks open the freaking can as far as like what is in this Middle Earth franchise and this trilogy of movies. It's just phenomenally made, acted, produced, edited, put together. It's just a freaking awesome movie, you guys. So I'm gonna give I'm gonna give this one 4 lightsabers out of 5 lightsabers, mainly because the other two movies do get more grander in scale and more epic, and they add more to what this one started off and established. So when I give it 4 lightsabers out of 5 lightsabers, it's not because I dislike it. I just feel like I enjoy the other two more because of what they bring to the table and build upon and make it more epic and bigger, badass and shit. So I'm excited to rewatch these movies. I'm really excited. So 4 lightsabers out of 5 lightsabers. 4 Lord of the Rings and the Fellowship of the Ring, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed that review. Thanks for watching, and I'll be catching you on the tuba later because I have spoken.